Well, hey everyone. I am attempting my first live broadcast today, and I'm hoping that it's going to get to a lot more people. As I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I'm being shadow banned and that and everything else, but possibly this may allow me to get to some more people, and we got a lot to cover here today. So let's just get right into it. HR Bill 127 has been introduced, and that bill is pretty ugly. What it would require is everybody that has a firearm in the nation register it and pay for a license for it, and you have to renew the license for it. And if you don't renew the license for it, they can revoke all your guns, confiscate all your guns. And they can come in and revoke your license at any time and confiscate your guns. I mean, that's pretty scary, because they'll do it. You're a domestic terrorist. We're revoking your firearm license. And this goes for all guns. But you got your great granddaddy's shotgun handed down to you, you got a risk for all. Now, if you've got a military style weapon, AR 40, an AR-15, whatever maybe, and that includes now AR-15 pistols, and I'm assuming it includes something like I have, which is the 9mm, basically pistol, for lack of a better word. You have to pay a license fee for them separately on top of your regular license fee. And that license fee is $800. So basically, you got to pay for an AR every year to own an AR. I mean, it's just unreal. And don't think that they won't change that somewhere down the line. And then finally, anything more than 10 rounds is gone. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're illegal, and they will be coming for you. And I want to send a message to you guys who think you're voting for so-called conservative Democrats. These so-called conservative Democrats will go right along with this stuff. Because once they get to Washington, I don't know what it is. They get read the Riot Act, whatever, but they will vote for Pelosi 99% of the time. We've seen it this last impeachment. What a scam that was. Every single one of them voted for it. Every single one of them. And there's a lot of them out there saying, I'm not going to take your guns. I'm not going to take your guns. Don't worry about that. Worry about it. Because they will. And they won't give two shanks about it. And on top of that, let me drop down here to this. The Democrats have now introduced a bill for nationwide mail-in ballot. Why shouldn't they? Everywhere they've done it, once they've gained control and they've done this, they've never lost another election. Just ask people from Oregon or Washington. And Lord knows, if they get this passed somehow, you can just forget about being a non-Democrat. They might actually only get 30% of the vote, but they'll magically find a way to win every time. Now, I don't know how they expect to do this, because the Constitution is very clear that only the state legislature has the ability to dictate when, where, and the manner in which elections take place. And they did that for a specific reason, to make sure elections were taking place closest to the people. So I don't even think this is constitutional. But word has come out now. Biden's all on board padding the Supreme Court. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Old Mitch buddying up to Biden, telling jokes, having a good old time. Supposedly the court is the most important thing. Well, you know, let's see how you like that. Mitch probably wouldn't mind it. Again, the Republicans are very happy playing small ball and losing with dignity, supposedly. How you lose with dignity, I don't know about that. But anyway, that's where we're at with them two things. Well, the Baseball Hall of Fame met again. And once again, Roger Clemens was not elected to the Hall of Fame. And this was his next to last year. And how not Roger Clemens, I'm sorry, Curt Schilling. Well, Roger Clemens didn't get in either. I guess that's why it was on my mind. But Roger Clemens did have some issues with performance-enhancing drugs, just like Barry Bonds. So that's one area where we can debate that when you improve your ability by performance-enhancing drugs. But the only reason Curt Schilling isn't in the Hall of Fame wasn't a first-year ballot, was because he wasn't a full-blown liberal, like all these other baseball writers that vote on these people. He's said publicly that if it wasn't for his politics, he'd already be in. And I guess he sent a letter to him to take him off the list for next year. He said baseball doesn't owe me anything. Basically tell him to go fly a kite. I think maybe it's time we start looking at a different way of putting people in the Hall of Fame. When you can't put your politics behind a guy's ability, what Schilling's won 3 World Series. Remember the bloody shoe incident? I mean, God, that guy was tough as nails, and he performed. How he's not in there is beyond me. But when you put your politics ahead of a guy playing career record, as I read an article on it, and the article said there was no debate about his ability on the field or playing on the field. That's a no-brainer. But his remarks about Muslims and transgenders, well, let's hope LeBron James never sees the Hall of Fame, because I'm tired of his remarks about people that look like me and my country and everything else. So that's a tragedy. And we need to seriously look at revamping how we put people in the Hall of Fame. All right, GameStop. Everybody's talking about GameStop. What a hedge fund is, it's an unregulated fund by the SEC. It's basically the BBC hedge fund, which is the Billionaires Boys Club. They put the money into it, and you have to be a certified licensed broker or whatever it is. And they make their living a lot of times by shorting companies and destroying them. When you short a stock, it just means if it's at $5 now, you bet it'll go down to $1. You'll push it so it goes down to $1 or less. Then you buy it, make a ton of money, and then it either goes bankrupt and restructures or it goes. Recently, before this GameStop thing happened, they tried to do that to Hilton hotels. And I can't remember his name now, but one of the hedge fund managers got a line and was saying, "Oh, this terrible, this was back in March or April. We need to shut everything down. Hilton hotels or are gone. They're not going to make it back, and need to divest into them now." What he wasn't telling everybody was they had shorted Hilton stock already, and when investors flew out of there, boom, it got down to whatever they shorted at. I'm not sure what that is, and bam, they made billions for themselves and their people, and it's just a dang shame that they do this. And this thing with GameStop, and that's exactly what they did. It wasn't just GameStop. There were some other companies involved with that, that theater group and one other company. But so they decided to play this game again, and a group of, excuse me, sorry about that. Should have had that turned off. Um, a group of people got the ingenuity and just cleaned their clock. Right now, they're estimating over 70 billion. Wall Street has lost over 70 billion on this. Now, of course, Wall Street has come to these guys' rescues. Somehow they put a ban on buying GameStop stocks, but you can still sell it. Well, I don't know how that works. How can you sell it? There's nobody there to buy it. I may have to look a little closer into that. And then, like the one investing avenue that these people were doing was this Robinhood. And I remember when Robinhood first started coming up, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I thought about checking them out. Well, I did check them out a little bit. Something didn't seem right about it. And come to find out that Robinhood's real customers aren't all the people that invest through them. They make their money by selling your information to these hedge fund people. You give the hedge fund people a better idea of how to invest in your profit. And then to the point now, Robinhood has stopped trading, stopped everything. And basically, they have destroyed their company to save these hedge funds from all going under. And there's got to be a lot of money on the back end for these Robinhood people to literally put themselves out of business in order to save a entity that they were against, Robinhood, rob from the rich and give to the poor type thing. And then Google, people started putting up negative reviews on Google. Of course, Google deletes all the negative reviews. It's all that same cabal of 10, 12 of these super rich billionaires gathering together, and we've got to do something about it. We will never see freedom again if we don't do something about these people. And what's going on right now is illegal as heck. But I have no confidence that any of them will go to jail. And they're shutting down these groups, the Wall Street bets and all, for hate speech. That's the new thing. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're going against the establishment, you're going to get shut down for hate speech. Honest to God, I don't know what the answer is. I think I know what the answer is going to have to be eventually. But I don't think we're there yet. But there has to be some changes made. The funny thing is was it CNN was blaming it on Trumpism. And kind of in a way they're right. Because Trump has taught a lot of people to fight back and think out of the box. And I just think it is absolutely brilliant what this group did. And I hope they make millions and take them billionaires to the outhouse, man, and just beat the living daylights out of them. So let's keep hoping for them. They're the true Robin Hood, not this so-called investment app, which is bogus. Now they're coming out and saying Trump shouldn't have a presidential library, and in no way should anybody fund, no government funds, no nothing. And even to the point that this shouldn't even be allowed to be built privately. How in the world can you tell somebody they can't build something privately? What a freaking nut job. This was the Washington Post. What a freaking nut job. And Trump deserves presidential library just like everybody else. The question, once again, come up, well, he's too dangerous. We don't know what documents he would put in there now. Well, that's true. He's only dangerous to you guys in the swamp. That kills me how they keep calling Trump stupid. And he consistently sat there and outsmarted them for 4 or 5 years. It made them look like complete fools. Yeah, we'll have to see. And then finally, Pelosi calls House members enemies of the state. And they're investigating GOP ties to radical organizations. Let's investigate the Democratic ties to Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and various other groups that are actually out there burning stuff down, harming people, and destroying things. But no. We're going to have to. We're really going to have to fight back on this because they're look. What they see. This is their one chance to finally just to grab hold by the jugular and not let this country go. And I think they instinctively know if they lose hold on this, they're done as a party and as a group. And so they're going for broke on this. They've got control of all three branches. They are going to go for broke on this. And they got some feckless Republicans that will go along just to sort of press, won't talk bad about them. And, right now, there's not much we could do for the federal government except keep your eye on your congressman, your senator for 2022, and start working hard and funding hard people for the um, state reps and that type of thing, down to the school board. A $50 donation, like I was giving to Trump every now and then, was really nothing to Trump. But a $50 donation to a school board member can make a big difference. And we can't give up this fight or else we're going to lose the country, which is exactly what they want to do. So that's pretty much it for today. Enemies of the state. Boy, I tell you what, talk about projection much, huh? Boy, talk about projection much. We're going to have to wait and see how this is all going to turn out. Y'all have a good day. Bye.